one of the biggest investments, in fact, the first investment you should make, because it's the quickest emergency fund. In case everything fails, have a skill that is highly monetizable. In my community, I have SMMs. I have an SMM. Our highest earning SMM is at $5,000 a month. There's a lot of things you can get paid to do on social media. So depending on your skill set, your passion, things that your personality, we help you match your skill set with the best service to offer as a social media manager.
What role does mindset have to play in someone who is, interested in becoming a social media manager or monetizing a skill on social media? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Finance Friday. I'm really, really happy to have you guys on here. I really hope you've been enjoying our May series in honor of all the mothers that are Finance Friday subscribers. We've been having a Boss Mama Diaries series where we've been hosting business women who are also mothers to take us through what it really takes to build and grow a business that actually gives you sustainable income. You guys know I am all about, sustainable sources of income as your certified financial coach. As per usual, guys, we are shooting at Sarova Panafric. By now, you guys know that this is my current favorite chain of hotels. And today, we are shining the spotlight to the Sarova Imperial Hotel in Kisumu. It's a perfect hotel for business and leisure in the lakeside. The hotel is very easily accessible by road and by air if you'd like to be catching flights and all that shebang. And it's actually located just 10 minutes from the airport. Feel free to check it out on the link in bio. Maureen, karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
I'm very, very happy to have you on this channel today.
Me too.
It's been a long time coming. I keep telling my guests how I really struggle with introducing people who I really admire. Because I'm like, I don't even think I'll do it justice. So please tell us who Maureen is and what you do on social media.
Okay, well, So my name is Maureen Mongara. I'm a social media sales strategist. And I like to call myself a social media conversionist because I'm big on selling on social media. And that's the kind of people I feel I'm called to help.
Yeah.
So if you're on social media and your purpose is to sell, I think I'm your person.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So just helping you navigate, how do you sell? Because, social media was not created for selling. It's a social place. And then now we are supposed to go as business owners and find our customers there. How do we go in there without them, shutting the door at us? Like, this is not the place for you.
Yeah.
So that's what I help you do.
I love that. What do you do on a daily basis? What's a typical day like or a month like in your life?
Wow. A typical day for me is so not the conventional way.
Yeah.
Out here on social media, this boss babe who's, that's the way it will look like.
Yeah.
But to be honest, this thing we are building is really built in me in my pajamas, in my home office.
Yeah.
Which is a bedroom I converted to an office.
Yeah.
With once in a while, my 4-year-old bumping into the room and she says she wants my attention and I just shut my laptop and now we try again tomorrow.
Oh, wow. So there's a lot of, do you feel like there's balance?
No. This whole balance thing, I think it's a scam. You never really achieve balance because my daughter is in an age where now she's very expressive. And the mom guilt is even worse when the child, you're having mom guilt, but it's your assumption. Wait until he's telling you he needs your time.
Oh, no. And you feel bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mommy, you said when it's 6 p.m., it's play. Yes, we play that game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just 1 more minute, give me, because, sometimes we are human beings. And so there are going to be those moments when you really are struggling to. So now at times, it's your child holding you accountable to quick closing and now switching.
Yeah.
Also working from home sometimes, it's a thin line, because it's not like I have to drive all the way through traffic, get home. It's just switch next room. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's really no balance. But then sometimes you try to show up. There are days, like what Yvonne said, to be honest, there are days one will get more of you. Okay. I think for me, what really helped me is when I don't know where I had this, but I had that children don't need so much of your time to fill their cup. They just need very few minutes of your undivided attention, where you're not quickly switching to your phone, you're not quickly. Yes. So that undivided attention, where you're doing what they want you to do and you're there with them, 10, 30 minutes, as long as you can keep it up consistently and have it on part of your routine, it's okay. But there are days when, like today, you know, we are going to get home late. And you just have to make peace and give yourself grace. And try to make sure that tomorrow I can make more time. For sure. And there are times when there are aspects that are going to, maybe when your business is going through a phase that requires more of you, we just have to accept that this time, this is going to need more of my time. And then you compensate in another way.
When the wheels are moving slower.
Yes. They do they really move slower?
We have to make them. You train people on how to monetize social media management.
Yes. So I train two types of people.
Okay.
Business owners. You want to learn how you can sell on social media, because it's not just posting, taking pictures of a product and posting. Those are people I'm really passionate about helping them. And then there's a group of people who are looking for, how can I make money? I spend so much time on my phone. And I hear I can make money while I'm spending that time because I enjoy it already. So I train them how they can do that through acquiring a skill called social media management.
Social media management,
So you start, as opposed to just scrolling, you can now use your passion and your time to actually be spending time on social media and get paid by brands that need you to be there for them.
I know you're the right person for this discussion because I am such a believer in social media. We were saying earlier on how it's amazing how we've both been able, and other women who also are online, we've been able to literally use social media. Instagram is like our office.
I know.
You wake up, you're posting, you're doing stories, you are doing reels, you are replying to DMs, and that is directly contributing to your monthly revenue. And why that is such a huge thing for me is because either way, I would still be on social media.
Whether or not you're using it to run a business.
Whether or not I'm using it to run a business or not, I would be scrolling mindlessly. I would still, my weekly reports would be showing me I've spent 8 hours per day on social media.
Imagine 8 hours.
8 hours. It's like a full-time job.
Yes.
And it didn't make you any money. And on this channel, obviously, we are all about money, additional sources of income. And I feel like I've brought like their auntie, cause I keep saying, guys, kuja uambie. I keep telling guys, listen, people, you can acquire monetizable skills. You can work from home, from the comfort of your couch in your pajamas, with your phone and an internet connection, or with your laptop and an internet connection. Now, guys, nimewaletea mwenye anafanya hivyo. Like, I've brought the social media with more extraordinaire to tell us. Now, can we get into your story?
Yes.
I want to know. I think every time I see you, especially online, the other day I saw you in Rwanda. And I'm like, hey, guys?
I know.
Listen, like you know, now you're this boss babe. You're going to other countries to, do what you love and speak to people and women. But I know that's not where you started.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very interested in the grassroots.
I know.
I'm like, where did they start? I know where you are right now. It's admirable. It's amazing. How did you start?
Well, how did I start?
Yeah.
To be honest, I never planned. You know how you go, I've seen this thing. I want to go and study and try to be I stumbled on social media by, can I say accident? Because I had one day I'll tell the story about what I spent my 20s doing. That's not a story for today. And so I am in my late 20s.
Yeah.
And now I'm back I'm back home because I had an opportunity had to take me away. And that seemed like that. Now that's where I was going to go build my career and probably do something worth doing out there. But things didn't turn out like that. I decided to make the decision to come back home. To what? To nothing.
And are you telling people you've come back to nothing?
No, that was actually that thing has really helped me a lot, because nowadays, you know that thing of like, what do people say?
Yeah.
I feel like that moment really shaped me for that, because nowadays I'm really like, I switch like this. Like I'm not keen on, what will somebody say? If it's not working, it's not working. Sorry, yes, we failed, but we are picking ourselves up. And it's part of life.
I love that.
So I think it kind of trained me, because it was really difficult for me to like come back to what? To nothing. Where do you start looking for a job? Where do you go? So just happened that when we were just having a conversation about what are you thinking of doing, I really don't know now. Sasa, ntafanya? You know, just that table discussion came up like, see, you know, the thing you were doing for where you were, so you can do it. I'm like, what thing? You know, you were able to sell a whole conference that was happening across in South America down there. You're just here in Nairobi on your laptop, and you're able to sell and fill that whole conference with people from all over the world, just using Facebook. Back then, Facebook was a thing. I was like, yeah, by the way,
I did it.
Yeah, now it began to feel like it was something I was doing. I'm like, yeah, you know, so many people would want to get that kind of result for their businesses. Why don't you do it for them? Kila mtu anasema digital marketing. Unajua digital marketing. Mtu wa digital marketing, the time it was digital marketing mostly.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what digital marketing is, but I know that thing I did. That's a good thing about surrounding yourself with people who are action takers. They push you. The next day, there was a signage on a building in town. Somebody went just, it was changed from all these other services, and there was added plus social media marketing.
Wow.
And that's how I got a call.
Yeah.
The following day, actually.
Wow.
Yes. Because it happened to be the building where that office was just, you know, those places in town where the traffic is really, you know, so there are a lot of time people in the matatus and they're just looking. Because I asked the client, how did she get the number? She told me I was just in the matatu kwa traffic. Then I just saw that board, and I'm like, hey, we've been thinking about social media for our business.
Yeah.
And I called the number. And that's how I got my first client, went to meet the client. I tend to have my way with words. So I managed to convince the client that I'm the right person.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't know what I was signing up for. And the client paid me 3 months upfront. On Monday, then I reported to work having been paid for the job I was going to do for 3 months.
After the 3 months?
Well, I learned that I did not know what I was doing. And I was like, where?
Yeah.
There's a science to this thing.
Yeah.
It's not just what I think it is. And so, of course, around that time, I also got like 2 more other clients who now are the people who I learned through.
Yeah.
And sorry, their businesses had to suffer in the hands of somebody trying to figure it out. But I mean, it happens. Then I realized, wow, there's a lot in this. And so in my research, I discovered it's a whole world out there.
Yeah.
And it's $1 billion. It's $1 billion business.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I think there's something here. And I want to go all the way. And so that's how I began.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I love that you mentioned stepping outside of your area code, 254, to see what is happening outside.
Exactly.
For you to understand that this thing is viable.
And you know, they're always ahead of us. It always gets home, but it comes a bit later. So it was like, by the time it's coming home, I'll be somewhere.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, I love that. You're a mom?
Yes, I am.
And today, and in the past 4 weeks, we've been talking about the Boss Mama Diaries. Did motherhood change how you do business? I've just seen a little bit like snippets here and there of your story. Talk to us about the impact of motherhood on your business and your ability to make an income.
Well, so I started what I'm doing way before I was a mom.
Yeah.
Okay. At the time, I didn't have a name for it. Later, I discovered it's a social media management, which I'm no longer doing, but now I'm more in that coaching aspect and training. And so when I started out, I was more of a freelancer, but I consider myself, I was an employee of my clients. My clients dictated my time, what I did, how much I did, and what I did with my time. So I answered to them. And when I became a mom is when it hit me that I'm not in control of this thing I'm calling my business. Then I was like, where I need to build a proper business because now I was already pregnant, and then towards the end of the third trimester, I start to realize, oh my goodness, I cannot get away for even a month.
Yeah.
You know, how is it gonna be? Thankfully, I had very understanding clients, but of course, they'll understand you, but you see, you don't expect them. They can't be paying you for nothing. You know, I was trying to quickly get people who can help, but they can't really figure it out. They need training. It's just chaotic. You can't even hire because you don't even know where to get who can do what you can do.
Yeah.
So it was really, really bad for me. And so that ended up being that I could not go on maternity. So I was in and out of hospital and back on my laptop.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
My baby here.
How's that?
Well, I think it had grace. I think God knew, and he akapack grace release at the moment because I needed it.
Yeah.
But looking back, I'm like, whoa, and I can see how that season has also affected. I can see how it's affected how I am. It contributed to how I can quickly go into survival mode. Niko but siko. It's like I'm floating. I'm just going and going, and I'm not. I'm more grounded. So I have to call myself back and be like, wait a minute, slow down. I'm here. You know, I'm Susan. It's not just another thing I have to teach and get to do. And so that was really challenging for me. But one thing I cannot thank God for, and which I see one of the blessings of the kind of business that I do, is the fact that as much as I could not get a maternity leave, I was not leaving my house. I go to a job.
Yeah.
I was still having the privilege to be with my baby while I'm working. I would have loved to have at least 1 month rest, or at least the 3 months people get. But because the way I had structured my business could not afford me that, but I was home. You know, I was home with my baby, a little bit hapanapale, struggling. But I feel like it really, if I didn't have that, I can only imagine the hole I would have gone down through. You know, trying to come back, now starting from scratch to get clients, because now, you know, you lost them. You know, and I think even financially, I was not prepared. I didn't have an emergency fund. You know, I didn't have insurance. You know, like it was chaotic. And I think that's one of the things I thank God for. And that's why I'm really passionate about. I've worked a lot of moms, especially, you have a lot of moms in your community, you know that?
I have a lot of moms. Oh my God. I feel like I'm the only one who wasn't a mom yet.
Like, they were just waiting for you.
They were just waiting for me to join them. It was,
And so I realized that there's a time we did something online with you for the mom. And you're asking them, how has motherhood affected how you show up or something?
And how you make your money.
And those stories, motherhood and your man. And those stories were really heartbreaking. And I was like, you know what, Susan, wangapi wako, I will sponsor them. Because
you did such a beautiful thing, because when you sponsored those ladies, it was you were the first person who reached out after I did those Instagram stories that like came to me with a solution, because I was reading those stories. And I think honestly this is a reality. And it's not that mothers are complaining or anything, but it is a reality that is not talked about enough. While we love the blessing of children, and some of us, you know, maybe even waited years to get our babies and everything, and it's exciting, there's an aspect we remain severely underprepared for. And that is the impact of motherhood on your finances.
Where?
Because
you can talk about that.
You know, because I know for a fact, for me as a, and I know you probably maybe even experienced that as someone who already had an established business, and I'm telling you I did everything that I knew in my power that I can do
to prepare.
Because I'm a type A person.
I was following your stories and I was like, wow, emergency fund check. That's really smart.
I did, hi Jed. Jed is in the building. I did videos with Jed 4 months in advance for the YouTube channel.
Wow.
Yeah, because I knew baby is coming on this month. I don't know how that will look like. I've never been a mom before. So let's just shoot videos in advance
Just to make sure.
at least there's something on the channel. So that's area of my business doesn't dump down. Then on this other end, I started preparing my clients and telling them, hey, I'm gonna be away for the ones that had already paid, lazima tungemaliza. But then I notified people that, I know you were on the waiting list, but and then I'm not announcing things on social media. So a lot of people didn't even know I'd been pregnant all along. So now it's a surprise to them. They're like, wait, what? Okay, what will happen? I'm like, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna touch base maybe December, maybe January. I don't know. On the front of finances, we'd gotten insurance in place. So that's what I'm telling you, why I say we remain underprepared. You see, you're saying me, I didn't have these things. Now, let me tell you from the perspective of someone who had them, right? So me, I knew I see videos, check. My clients have been told we'll touch base with you in 3 or 4 months and notify you when you can start booking sessions. That's check, yeah? On the finances front, because it is Coach Susan, as we had, me, I have a personal emergency fund and a business emergency fund. So my personal emergency fund was not at risk. That one I've been working on it since 2020. I knew worst case scenario, we are good for some months. The business emergency fund, because I have a team, I had to think, I'm no longer coaching, so income is not coming. But I still want my assistant to be able to handle any emails that come in. I still want Jed to continue editing these videos and uploading them on YouTube. I still want things to run so that I have a business to come back to.
Yes.
After maternity. So what do? I put aside an emergency fund that can pay them at least 3 to 4 months. So me, I'm thinking,
Niko set.
Now we're good.
What happened? I'm curious.
Sister girl.
Even after all that.
Let me tell you something. Two ways I was underprepared. Babies are cute, but then babies are different. I got a crying baby. I got a fussy baby. And I got a baby who does not sleep. So actually, earlier on, I was telling you how it's now a few months. I mean, we're almost into the 1-year mark. And I cannot tell you a day I've slept at most 4 hours. So I'm like a functional alcoholic, Yeah. So you see, when I was making the plan for I'm gonna come back to work and things are gonna go back to the way they used to be, I had not factored that 9 months down the line, I still would not be sleeping. No one prepared me for that, for example.
Like 3-4 months at most.
Everyone was telling me, after the first 3 months,
you'll be fine.
Atakuwa mezoea. 6 months, when they start eating, in fact, they lala because they've shivered, So, I'm still waiting. So you see, we underestimate, as a businesswoman, I underestimated what this level of sleep deprivation would do to my ability to show up in the morning, to coach like I used to do all these things I used to, And then there's things I underestimated. I planned to be away 3 months. Unfortunately, because of, again, the babies being different, I had to be away for 6.
Oh my.
Are you seeing?
Yeah, I see.
And literally just this year in January is when I was just like, we're coming up for air. Now I'm like, hey, Ati, what kind of business do we run again? What do we usually do?
I know.
I'm just trying to, come up for air. And then now you're thinking, the old me who used to can go for 16 hours, me, I am a workaholic. I can work. I have aspects where luck has played a role in my business and strategy. But a lot of what I've been able to do, for example, is, hard work.
Yeah.
But now I'm not able to show up like that.
Isn't just to reconcile that this is a new normal.
My brain is not working. More, I can't remember things. In fact, there was a month we had so many complaints, from phone calls to emails to what is happening. You people are so unreliable, and definitely that impacted my income. So case in point, the other day on Instagram, I was posting, we did our audit and my income has significantly declined, actually by 46%.
Oh my God.
That's almost half of what I usually will make. This is what I'm saying. As much as you didn't have an emergency fund and I had an emergency fund, motherhood is an equalizer, in my opinion.
Yeah, like what?
You understand?
So we need to anticipate.
We need to.
We can't prepare enough.
You can't prepare enough. That's why I say we are significantly underprepared. But then I also concur with what you're saying. The fact that, fine, I wasn't able to get mat leave, but the nature of business I do, I was able to work with my baby on my chest.
Which is a privilege many moms might not have.
Exactly.
And I think that's why, for me, I totally believe that one of the biggest investments, in fact, the first investment you should make, because it's the quickest emergency fund, in case everything fails, have a skill that is highly monetizable.
I love that.
And that does not require you to be in a certain place to execute. You know, something that you can quickly use and monetize and get paid for before you realign and do stuff.
And that's why social media is so big. And that's why I love what you do. And I think I really want now to get into the meat of this, because me, I love talking money and numbers.
Let's talk.
How sustainable, because you train social media managers with the promise that this thing can be so good that you will leave your 8 to 5 that you hate. You will leave that boss that frustrates you. You will be able to have time freedom and flexibility. Is this really, really give us the tea? Is it a sustainable source of income?
It really is.
And what does it take?
I'll tell you for a fact. Yes. And what works for us is that you're not limited to working for clients where you are.
Yeah.
And you know, so we even encourage them to find more remote kind of clients, especially if we can get clients who can pay you in pounds and dollars, if the money can really be good, because you see, they're way ahead there. Right now, you might not find a company that is hiring specifically for social media. They want you to come be a social media manager, do admin, we've not yet gotten there. The career is very young. So it's very difficult to just be hired for that role. And those that are willing to hire for that role, they're not paying enough for you to sustain you. So you kind of have to get several clients. And that's why we empower them to mostly run as a business where you can serve multiple clients so that you can at least hit your income goal. So on baseline, we just usually try to work with them to at least hit $1,000 mark per month. Here in Kenya, earning $1,000 at least, you can get a bit to, it's good. You want to set up a business, you can save for a few months, do something. So it's a decent income, but you can scale beyond that. So that's our commitment to work with you to get there. Okay, because at least the standard of living. But you know what? With clients who are hiring you from other countries that pay better, you find that just one client will pay you $1,000. Yeah. So in my community, I have SMMs. I have an SMM. Our highest earning SMM is at $5,000 a month. And right now, $5,000 is not 500K.
Excuse me, come again?
Yeah.
Per month?
A month.
Yeah.
From one client. She bought off, though I still see her getting gigs. Yeah. Because money is never enough.
Money is never enough.
But it's not as grinding as she used to do before. And so it's,
I love that. What does it take? Because, and I want you to debunk this in a very simple, I'm very big on simple, practical, actionable things. Yeah. What do I need to become a social media manager that is making money from the comfort of my home? Do I need fancy tech, equipment? Do I need to have an extroverted personality, outgoing? I can go on stories anytime. Like literally just, I found you already being so guys, this is what's going on. And I wish I could really do
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
It is an acquired skill.
Wow.
And before you came, if you asked Jade, I took several takes.
She did.
And I was trying to keep up with you before you get here. Yeah. So even all these years later, I still take several takes. Yeah. And so that is to tell you it's not perfection. And what you see on social media is that final take, edits and everything put looking good together.
Yeah.
So what does it take? I bought my first laptop 2 years into the game. Okay, so how are you? Phone. As long as you have a smartphone, doesn't matter if it's an iPhone, if it's a small, whatever. As long as it can access the internet and it has a camera. In fact, the camera is irrelevant at the beginning. What is most important is you can access the internet. That's the most important thing. You don't need to have a laptop to begin. So it's like zero investment, and you can scale as you go. And I think because of the kind of life I've been through, whereby you are in a place you need something, but because of your situation, you can't get it. I've been trained to make do with what I have.
Yeah.
So you see, like I take time before I acquire things I need, even tools, until when I really, it's like, and I think it's worked for me. Like I took so long before I even hired. Yeah. I kept asking myself, like, what tool can I implement that can do the job of the person I want to hire? So by the time I was hiring, I already had small to people working for me through tools like tech and all that.
Yeah.
To really just reduce, like when you think you're ready, you might not be, stretch a little. So, but it's just not advice I give. It's just the way I think I've been accustomed. Like, what do you have? I like the scripture in the Bible that Moses was like giving God all the excuses. It was like, what I have, you have. The what is in your hand. Yes, all you will need. And I think I've ran with that a lot. And I always, you can make do with what you have. So I tell them, come just with a smartphone. That's all you need, and access to internet. In terms of personality, every personality can fit in. Because this is not just one JD. There's a lot of things you can get paid to do on social media. So depending on your skill set, your passion, things are your personality, we help you match your skill set with the best service to offer as a social media manager. For example, for me, I'm a creative. I'm spontaneous. I like fresh and new. I don't like routine. It's too boring for me. So when I started on as a social media manager, I quickly realized that I was getting bored following this standard of creating the content, have to post for, I thrive in the creative space. Can we brainstorm a strategy that nobody has thought about? Can we find a solution? Can we troubleshoot? So I found that that's why I was closing clients easy. Because when I'm telling them what we can do, that strategy where it's my strength. When it comes to the execution, I would struggle. I would struggle with all the organizing and all of that. And when I quickly realized that, I started to outsource. I actually tried to build an agency. Then I realized, okay, that's also not my thing. So Nifike, where I am, where now I'm not fully into teaching and strategy. I tried all the different. That's to tell you that there's a lot of things you can do in social media. So when they come to my class, one of the things we do day one, when we do strategy, we do skill set assessment, and we match what you're really good at with social media. So when you start, it doesn't feel like you're starting from scratch. It feels like it's a softer landing. You're leveraging on your ability to, like, what's one of the strengths?
On the spot, just like that. No, I think for me, organization, is one of them.
So for you, one of the things I'll tell you is like leverage more on helping the client to stay organized. The content plans, the content calendar.
I do well with that.
So that's you're going to really enjoy. You even find your color coordinating, arranging, and that's
what like you looked at my calendar. Like me, I'm those people for color, color
not for function, but for fun.
Yeah.
So me, I do it for function. So I know this one means I'm out, this one means I'm indoor. That's the only reason. And I don't do it. I delegate for someone to do it because I don't enjoy doing it. So if that's the kind of person you are, I will now tell you will thrive with that, because you'll now begin to find how smarter ways to organize. So you can be organizing for 5 different clients, and yet you have a lot of time, and you're just, because you already did it in a smart way. So we help you match that. You enjoy your work better. You're more confident in how you show up.
I love that.
So that's what I'd say. Like, you don't need to be a certain person, have a certain degree or a certain qualification. In fact, a degree or a certificate is irrelevant requirement in our whatever, in our whatever. We just need somebody who has access to the internet and grit. You need it. This is not just one of those online classes you take. I took a class on Google, blah blah blah, and it's just nice to say. Ours, it's practical. And it's if you're there for just to add something on the courses you've taken, it's not the class for you. Ours is designed to help you kukukwamua. You know, that mom who has been home and I'm like, I'm just done. I need to just make money if it's convenient enough so that I don't miss my being home for my child because maybe I don't have help. You still can do it. But you have 2 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes all through the day. You can put them together and they can make 2 hours. How can you use that and make some money from it?
Oh, wow.
Or you have a full-time job, so engaged, but you need some extra money. And you're like, where do I get? You know, you can't start thinking about logistics of running a business.
Yeah.
You need you to find out how that product will leave your office, go to this person, pay the rider, all those logistics. You don't have capacity for that. This is the best thing because then also we also advise pick a client who's not in your time zone.
Yeah.
So if you do night shifts,
Yeah.
you can get a client who you're able to serve during the day. If you work during the day, you can, and then it's not a lot of time. Especially for those who are busy, just focus on one good client.
Yeah.
Say no to all the ones who can't afford to pay you the way you want.
And just
get the one who you
good
know,
client.
that's the money I need. So we start with asking, what's your income goal? That's the one class.
Wow.
You must declare your income goal.
And if I tell you 10K per month,
you're in the wrong class because even the minimum does not get paid 10K.
Yeah.
So maybe we help you believe that actually you can get more. Yeah.
Now that you mentioned about belief, I know mindset, at least for me, has been very, very powerful especially because, as we said, this career is very young. Anyone who's doing anything on social media, especially in Pan-African, in the Pan-African setting, is in a young industry.
Very young.
So there's an aspect, I mean, do you know, I cannot explain to my grandma what I do for a living to save my life. I can't.
I know.
Because like for them, leaving your house in a suit and going to the office and having the certificates to show for it is what work looked like. And now the nature of work is changed. I'm working in my bedroom in pajamas all day. What role does mindset have to play in someone who is, interested in becoming a social media manager or monetizing a skill on social media?
A lot. It plays a big role because, you're coming against a societal norm of how things should be done. Yeah. You're fighting against your own belief of what success looks like. Yeah. Even for me, it had to become very uncomfortable and I had to push through it because the minute I say I work from home, there's a perception. You're like, it's like a switch of what they perceive of me. Yeah, I still run the successful business from home, probably making more than you're making.
Oh, come on.
From my house. Yeah. You see, I had to push through that and say, you know what? It's different, it's unconventional, but it's valid.
Yeah.
And it's the future. So, and you know what I was battling? I think I was battling the perception, but it's not really the perception.
Yeah.
It is my belief of what I believe people
think.
Is what I've been fed to me about society of what a proper, successful job or business model looks like. A lot of people ask me, when do you know it's time to hire?
Yeah.
And anytime because now, one of the streams of income I'll tell you about, I have a recruitment agency at this rate. Oh, by force. So I deal with a lot of those questions. Yeah. I usually tell them, how many people you have working for you is not directly proportionate to how successful your business is.
That's for sure. You could have a bloated team.
Yes, because what again? Perception, tradition, what you have been accustomed to. 50 team people. That's a successful
business.
So now if you're coming to this space, you have to be very ready to face on and break down those limiting beliefs about what success will look like. Because to be honest, most of the time when you're making your money, you'll not be making your money in the most appropriate space.
Yeah.
It's probably going to start with in your couch, some of you in the bed, probably because that's the most comfortable place you can sit.
Yeah.
On your phone, no laptop. You're going to have to go show up without a laptop and still be confident about it. And so that's what you need. A mindset of like, you have to be very, believe in what you're doing and be willing to be uncomfortable, because not even yourself, be willing to make people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And be comfortable in the uncomfortableness. Because this is not what they know is conventional.
Yeah.
That you have to be able to do, because you're going to struggle trying to explain what you do and why it is the career after your parents have paid how much what degree, what master's, and then you're saying,
I want to be a social media manager.
where, from which university,
Yeah.
you know?
No.
So you have to be, and then also just accepting the reality of the age you are living in. Jobs are not, they're rare.
Yeah.
They are not there.
They're not there. Not at least not in Kenya.
Yes, and so if they're not there, we have to quit blaming and waiting for that. We've already known that it's never coming to save us. The government will never come and say, "Now here are the jobs finally." We have to make them for ourselves. And that's actually the business I'm in. For me, it's really just being able to shield that young mom, you know, who did not have an option. You know, and maybe in a smarter way so that other moms can be able to get support I didn't get, to even structure their businesses better, and still be able to work from home. And also to just heal the younger me of the struggle of, I don't know if you're watching, where you're watching us from in the whole world, but people who have had a taste of living in Nairobi, I think it's harder than anywhere else.
Okay, it's so hard. Yeah.
So you know how that young girl who has such big dreams, but they're not going to open the doors for you simply because of A, B, C, and D.
No.
And you know what? You can choose to keep knocking doors or decide to build the door for yourself. So you can open it whenever you want. So what we are doing, we are training you to build your own door so that you don't have to be at the mercy of people.
Yeah.
Like when they decide or when if they think you're fit. Building a business takes different shapes.
Yeah.
You know, people say, biashara iko na wenyewe. But the kind of business we teach you how to build is basically you leveraging on a skill you have and getting paid for it. You're not going to buy things and then come and try to resell it, but you're just leveraging on the skill we will help you acquire, plus other skills you already have, and monetize and get paid for it. And it's been beautiful.
I can imagine.
I'm telling you, that's the most fulfilling thing for me. Running a business is one thing, good, you're in business, but seeing the lives, real people that you're transforming. Somebody's coming, like they could not afford the class, they had to save. We even have a Lipa Pole Pole plan, which we don't announce, but people come behind. We actually support them. If we see they really want, we allow them to do that. And today, hey, if you see them online,
wow,
you know, and now the biggest problem in our community, we're actually looking for a bank. I think I need to see you, Sue, as well. We are now trying to help them with now what do you do with this money, because now
it's coming in.
Some of them didn't even have bank accounts. We didn't even thought about opening a bank account. It's just M-Pesa. But now the money is here, and now it's almost like trying to figure out how do I manage, how do I? And so they're still earning a lot of money, but still living mouth to mouth.
Yeah. Because the management bit is challenging.
Yes, and it's something that they never thought they needed to even know because it was too far. But now, pop.
The money is here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can be able to do this. I can be able to, you can see something on Instagram and just impulse buy. It feels good. You know? So we are now in that space. Then now we're also in the space of also helping them. You need to be compliant. We even had a tax consultant come the other day. You know, we are now introducing that, and we do that through our community, which we take them into after the class.
I love that.
Good problems.
That's very good problems.
Yeah.
You know, when you talked about like, you know, being able to like work from home, you know, with your baby and not being able to take maternity leave. I'm just replaying conversations I have had severally with clients, with friends, and even people in this community. Because I talk a lot about, you know, financial literacy. One of the things that we have, two things that cause problems. It's either you are struggling with a spending issue and just poor money management, or you are dealing with an income issue. You cannot budget away no income or a low income. There's no amount of budgeting and financial literacy that will help you if you do not have, you know, the
income. Yeah.
And especially when I talk to mothers, because we are doing a Mother's Month edition.
Yeah.
The one response I keep getting is, but Susan, I'm too busy. But Susan, I don't have time. But Susan, at what point will I even learn? At what point will I even be, social media? Will I really make it? This thing about, I don't have time. What would you advise? How can you advise women in terms of like time management and believing that you really can if you want to. How has that come? How have you observed that playing out with social media managers that you have trained? How do you handle even delegation in your own journey as a mother who's also a business owner?
Okay, so this is what I'd say.
Yeah.
First of all, these sessions that right now, there are a lot of platforms, people are talking about moms.
Yeah.
And it's really validating moms when they feel like I'm not alone. So it's a thing all of us go through. But also it comes with its own dangers of this pity party.
Yeah.
Sometimes I say you have to just know your situation. Don't just follow the crowd. I know, yes, you need time off, yes. But sometimes you have to ask yourself, how is my situation?
Yeah.
Do I have the luxury?
Yeah.
And meet yourself on the corner and tell yourself, okay, we're all moms, but then there's me. Maybe she had an emergency fund. She has a partner who is fully taking care of everything. She doesn't have to think about anything.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that other kind of privileges.
Yeah.
Which if you have the privileges, enjoy them.
Well and good.
Please do. I would say if you have that luxury, take it and just be present in the moment until when you're ready to get back.
Yeah.
But this is for those who don't have that
privilege.
You have to separate yourself from the crowd because you know the noise and tell yourself the truth. And then you must ask yourself, how bad do you want your situation to change? And switch your mindset. I always say that you are the only person who can remove yourself from whatever hole you are in.
Yeah.
And it's not physically because of how strong you are. It is mentally. Mindset is such a powerful thing. It's a switch. And you know why? The brain is like a puppet. It does not know the difference between reality and what is not real. That's why when you're watching a movie, you feel everything. Yeah. The mind tells the body we are sad, and the body starts to react. The tears start to come out. You start to feel a type of way, and so, but it's not real.
Yeah.
It's not actually happening.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
Even the dream, you wake up breaking a sweat, or even you literally feel pain. Yeah. If you were in a dream, you wonder how that is. Yeah. The brain cannot tell the difference. And so that is going to be very powerful, and you can use it to your advantage. Whatever you tell the brain today, it believes. So, and how do you tell the brain? By what you say, by what you think. So if you tell your brain, I don't have time, I'm a mom, but moms, we don't have time, we are stressed. The brain believes that and it becomes a reality. So no matter how much you try to make time, you can't.
Yeah.
It's there to defend you and protect you. So whenever anything is coming to ask for your time, it shows up at the door and says, we have no time. Any opportunity is coming, we have no time. But it's working to protect you because that is what you are in agreement with. Yeah. So you have to, it starts with just tweaking. There's something I started doing a while ago, and if you help me, they're going to be business. You know how it is planning her business. There are these months when there's no money and, But there's something you will hardly ever hear me say. I am broke. Hey, wow. We are just in an interview, brain. Don't register that. I'm even telling my brain, it's an interview, so we're just sharing. So I'm really care. That's one of the words that I realize that sometimes we used to say to get away from, maybe you just say, oh, okay, I'm broke, and they're just saying it, but you don't realize the brain is like, oh, we are broke. So let's adapt to how being broke we should be. Yeah. And you attract it, and you think all this manifesting and everything, everybody has a choice to believe what they believe, but I feel like it all really starts with the mind. So if you tell yourself, I have time, even if you feel like you don't have, within a few days, you start to actually think you have the time. Yeah. And time doesn't look like a whole day set aside for that, because to be honest, as a mom, you can get that. It's just knowing that I can be able to put together 2 hours a day. Yep. It might not be in one sitting, but I can get 15 minutes here, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes there. And telling yourself that I cannot waste those 20 minutes with anything. Yeah. So when you're busy breastfeeding your baby and you're doing other things, start planning, start sieving. All these things I need to do, which one is the most important? Yeah. Which one moves the needle? Yeah. Which one will take me a step closer to where I want to go that I should prioritize? Then when that moment comes, because we are in a very distractive age, do everything to prevent the distractions. Yeah. Set an alarm, put airplane mode. It's just 20 minutes of focus time. Write that email and send it. Yeah. If you're a social media manager, send those, the breakthrough message, send it to 5 clients, submit. Whenever you have activities that can allow you do small tasks, like you can be doing something, but at the same time, you can check your email just to check, is there an email? Then skim through, I'll get back, take a mental note about it. So try to use moments and simple, like when you are in the middle maybe if you're on the road or you're cooking or things that those breaks before you wait for the onions to thingy and you're standing, just check. You start putting those small tasks. So by the end of the day, you find that you've been able to at least move a step closer to where you want to go. Just switch your mind and start making time and focus. Make sure that time you've allocated is doing what it's supposed to do.
I love that. Talk to us about delegating, the power of delegating, especially for busy business owners that are also moms.
Well, I struggle with that, but I've come to appreciate it. Thanks to my sister, she's a very good delegator, and I've watched her do it. She works best with her mind, and she uses her mind and gets to delegate, and people do the hand job, and she's very, very good at that. And I used to worry that somebody might not do it as well as I would do it myself, but really it's a lie. We tell ourselves, because that's when the balls start to drop. So what I'd say about delegation, it really is an important thing, especially as a business owner. You're trying to build something bigger than yourself. Too many moving parts. Susan is here telling us, please build 7 streams of income. How are all this going to move together? Am I the one who's supposed to carry all this and then still think about the diapers I need to buy, still think about the electricity bill I need to pay? So what I did, I realized that I was working with people, but I did not have a clear what is the job they're doing. Sometimes when you're saying it's JD time, it never comes out. So what I do is anytime I think I have a list of things to do, I ask myself, is this something somebody else can do? And if I'm conflicted, because sometimes you always feel like, no, you ask yourself, does it move the needle? Does it bring in income? For me, that's something very important you should focus more on. Does it help you achieve the bigger vision? Is it taking you closer to what your aim is? And is it something you can directly contribute to? But if it's indirectly contributing, you delegate that. And what I started doing myself, when the moment is there, before I type a message, which is the quickest thing, I grab my voice note.
Just do a voice note.
And I say, I need this done. You understand? And you find that your day will be freed up. You spend so much time doing small, replying, reviewing, tasks. You start to delegate. And not just in your work, because we are mothers and we run homes. This was the game changer for me, not even with my work in my home. The people who take care of our homes are very, very important to us. And if you're paying them well, make sure you're getting value for your money, just like our business. For me, I made sure that my home manager also happens to be my nanny because I have one child. But I put more on her table. My child is now going to school. What is she doing between when she finished her morning duties to when my child comes back home? She has about 3-4 hours thereabout. So I asked myself, what are some of the home things that I can do that contribute to the mental load? Simply thinking about ordering gas or paying for water or that electricity bill or calling Nani to come fix whatever. That in itself, the fact it's lingering in your mind as something to do, it's weighing you down. And it's affecting how you're showing up. So try to always clear your mind of things that you have to constantly carry that you need to remember. So what I did, every time I would find I'm struggling with something, I just put a mental note that I need to. So I've just formed a habit. So it was difficult at the beginning. But like, for example, today morning, when I had a challenge with paying my electricity bill, I just said, why don't you just send her, ask her to do it when you go? Because you'll be thinking until when they'll be blackout. Understand? So I told her, when the system was faulty, just keep trying.
Is the nanny.
And immediately I did that, it was off my mind. As simple as that. Another biggest challenge I used to have, I like to, because of my nature of job, I'm like you, my mind is my greatest asset. And so if I constantly am thinking about what I need to do, it's a hassle. So the first change I made, started shopping monthly. Everything, including market. I don't do midweek things because I don't have capacity for, remember maziwa or what. So when I started doing that, of course, it helps in budgeting and everything. But then again, the time actually became a problem. all this online shopping, I'm still taking time to order and arrange my cart, which now I have to keep. It was becoming too much. So what I decided to do, I delegated it to her.
Wow. You go to the market.
Yes. Worst case scenario, she will just buy from the wrong mama. But with time, she will build. You know, it can't be the way you do it. But to be honest, she does better. Because, you know me, I'll add some to things in the cart that you never plan. But now she has to follow the list, and the money you've given her has to be enough. Because you've created, this is how much we spend, this is what we do. So you see, so I delegate things that will take into me. Like, for example, house shopping, where normal monthly grocery shopping and things like that. Things like my own daughter, have a very specific salonist who comes to do her hair. But she is booked out. When she comes, you have to book her for the next one.
Mapema.
Yeah. There, mwanze kuangalia calendar, una book. So because sometimes I'm not home when she's having her hair done, or maybe I'm in a meeting in the office, what's going to happen? She will leave and we didn't book. Then you're going 2 months, you don't have to start finding another salon, and it's another walk, or she's not used to it. So I just felt this thing is stressing me. And then I just said, one of the other things, please take her number, book, put a reminder. When is this day you call to confirm, and you plan the hair to be undone before then.
Another thing that is off your plate.
So if it requires my input, she will now remind me, you know, we need to do A because Nani is coming. Understand? The gas is over. I'm on airplane mode. They won't cook until I pick my car.
Until we finish shooting.
Yeah. Order. We will pay when I get home. Water. You know, those small things that eat into your everything. So I think that's the thing. Like, don't find shame in it, because sometimes we glorify suffering,
especially like for women.
Yeah, if I didn't do it, then it's not successful. No. Free your mind, because you need to be sane. Your business needs you, and in a bigger way.
Yeah.
So all these smaller things, try, and it's a journey. It starts with that one task. Before you do it, so you just say, let me. Even that's where you start to empower them. They get soft skills.
Yeah.
They get to learn. And by the time they're leaving your home, they're really, really empowered. Yeah. You know? And also for me, it's also a thing I look for when I'm bringing someone to my home. Does she have capacity?
Sure.
Because again, if they cannot read and write, they cannot read a shopping list. They cannot, so for me, I have to think about, it's not just about the child, they have to manage a lot of other things. Can she speak at the door in case a situation is happening? I'm in the middle of a live call and something needs my attention. Can she handle that? Or just say, wacha tungoje mama nani?
Yeah.
You get, so for me, that's important. For somebody else, it doesn't matter. But for me, because of how I work, it really is important. Can she think, now that we can't get her, she's on a call, how can we solve this situation?
Problem solving skills need to be,
exactly. How can she quickly make do with what is there? Can she quickly think of something? So I think that even in your homes, especially for moms, the way you hire in the office, please do the same back at home.
Exactly.
Because even as you're paying, you feel that I'm paying this because I'm getting this.
Exactly. Yeah. I love that. Wow, this has been so impactful. I want us to finalize by addressing the aspect of, again, because I see that I'm very, very big on practical. Yeah. So I want you to speak to, because again, this is a Boss Mama series.
Yes.
A mother who is either in a toxic workplace or somewhere where you feel like this is taking me away from my kids. This is taking me away from my family. This is not even paying me enough. Or maybe they've already been staying home. And they feel like, I definitely need to transition into starting to do something. What would you say to that person in terms of these are 3 things you can think about and start doing today that can begin to prepare you for, at least a platform on social media?
So this is what I'd say.
Yeah.
Look inside, look inward, and ask yourself, what am I really good at?
Yeah.
And when I ask that question, I just say, think about what you think you're good at, and then think about what do other people say I'm good at.
Very important.
Then write them down in like 2 columns and see which ones are matching. Okay? And then there's something else I ask. What is it that you love so much you can do for free?
Wow.
that now makes you really narrow down. Like, do for free. And funny thing, you will find it.
Yeah.
Then the other thing you want to ask yourself, what is it that you've been learning? What is it that you're constantly learning? It doesn't have to be the degree you took. You can add that if you have a degree in something. But I focus more on, sometimes your degree was a long time. It doesn't align with what your mind is at right now. So I just say, what are you constantly learning? If I came to your Google history, right now it's social media. If I go to your For You page or I scroll your reels for 2 minutes on TikTok, what am I constantly seeing you're watching? Maybe you've been watching a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
Maybe you've been watching a lot of leadership, a lot of something that you're constantly looking. Which are the courses you've been taking? Some small online courses here and there. Your YouTube history, which is not entertainment per se, but self-development content. What are you consuming? The books you're reading. What are you constantly seeking to know more of? So when you write that, it's like you're unpacking and you're now having a mirror of yourself. And then you do like, you know how I used to do common denominator? Which one is which one is reoccurring? Are you seeing a lot of, like say, money, you know, or maybe like advising people, supporting people, advising people. You know, once you see like you're really, you like helping, advising people, then you pick that out. Then now you find what is it about addressing people. You could find that you're the person people come to with their relationship issues.
Therapist, resident therapist.
And you always are very intrigued with relationship content. You have a deeper understanding about relationships and how they should run. You enjoy that content. That is an opportunity. That in itself, even without going to invest in a course, already you have acquired something new because you spent hours to research without knowing you are researching. Take that. So if we say we pair up advice and help with relationship, you can start something and start helping people with their relationships.
And using social media for
and just open your Instagram account and you see all those thoughts. You know what I do? Just open a Google Doc and I just start typing my thoughts about my perception, what I think about this specific issue. When you just get lost in that world, because you know your brain will be picking from all the things you've been reading and all the resources you've been having. Then you'll just be impressed. Oh my God, I like this perspective. Then put that out as content. You don't even need to record a camera, put a camera. You know,
carousels or just or a LinkedIn post.
It can just be something you wrote up and just a picture or even a graphic. Start putting out your knowledge, whatever it is you're using your mind. Start putting it out there, and then just put it out with a call to action. For anybody who sees this and they feel like it's speaking to them, they should reach out to you and just tell them, send me a DM. Don't have to figure out how I'm going to serve them. That we figure out later. When somebody says, my hand is up, I'm interested, in the DMs, you now chat them like a friend. Ask them the questions about their relationship and what are the issues they have. Then figure out what the problem is. Then you can say, let's start with a session.
Come on.
Then charge the session. Because just charge 5,000. If you feel it's too much because you're trying to start, 2,500 you didn't leave your house to make. Wow. Just start like that. You know? And it's as simple as doing that. There's a client who reached out to me. She said, she's been getting a lot of, can I pick your brain on? And because she's had so much experience in what she does, and a lot of people need that help. And it's her friends and all that. So she's beginning to feel like, I think I can make money from this. And so I walked her through the journey, and that's one of the things that she's actually putting out her first content last week.
Wow.
You know? And if you want to use social media, now you're stuck, you can come to people like me. And now I can help you package this content and how do we show up and share this knowledge you have, or this thing you're so passionate about, how people should, you know, be in relationships. It can be something as simple as that. And you know, it's been proven that education is the next big business. So for any business, no matter what you sell, even if you're selling shoes or plates and cups, the model to scaling is incorporate education
100%.
Because it instantly does what? Flips and it makes you an expert, an authority. Sets you apart from your competition. Then they're just selling, but you've sold well enough to educate. If you look at if you want to scale, just introduce an aspect of
education in your business.
It's scalable beyond, you know, because you just need to do that. And maybe if you don't have the time, one class you taught, you just record it and you can upsell it.
Yeah.
And that's your passive income. Teaching people how to pick out the best plates, or how to know the quality of a plate that will last you for long, or whatever crazy thing. Everybody's an expert in whatever you're selling. I have a client who was telling me about she sells all these containers, arranging storage. And I just asked her some question. I learned so much about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Is that the reason why no matter how I put them, sometimes they start getting some things growing in the cereals and all that? Yeah. She said, yes. I'm like, imagine that is information people would pay to know.
Exactly.
Imagine bringing homemakers. It's actually a club. You can create a homemaker.
Oh my goodness.
And you start teaching them how to make sure your home is effective, efficient, sustainable, the thing now, and it just starts from your business of selling cups and plates. But now you're an expert. So you have to think about from a skill perspective.
Yeah.
What is what I'm doing every day? Every day you're doing something, you're learning. How can people pay me to know what I know already?
And that is why the question of, hi Mo, hi Susan, I have 50,000. Which business do you think I should start? That's why that doesn't work. Cause I don't know.
You know what I'll tell them? You know what I'll tell them?
Yeah.
Go find out what it is that you can do. Then if you find a gap, for example, I'm really good in relationships, guys, go pay for a course that will teach you how to package your relationship knowledge into a sellable program. Yeah. That's the best investment.
Exactly. Now your 50K can work for you well there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not spend all of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing courses on Udemy for like $39. That's like less than 5 Gs or almost 5 Gs.
Yeah. Find out how to price yourself, how to package your offer so that people can be able to pick this based on their need, pick this based on their need. And that's it. Or pay for a social media course.
I know.
Come and learn how, now that I know what I know and I can offer it, how do I tell the world that they can pay me to show them what I know?
Yeah.
Come and learn. I think that's the best investment. Because to be honest, 50K, it's a risk. You will pay for the goods, but have you factored in marketing costs? Have you factored in how much you're going to pay your delivery guy before you start breaking it? Nobody will tell you a real budget. No one will tell you what it costs to get the goods.
Yeah.
But what it costs to... You see what Yvonne was telling you? How long? Is it how? I don't know where I saw her talking about it. Yeah. How long did she... it's an interview she did. Since when she got her stage venue was last year, I think October.
Yeah.
When she opened.
Literally, Josie.
You think the landlord was just smiling at her, telling her, when you're done, you can pay.
No.
She was paying.
With no income.
No one tells you that.
Yeah.
That you're going to have about 3 to 6 months of zero sales.
Yeah.
How do you pay for the space you're using? So those are the kind of things that you have to think about. So you have to be very keen. Like the money I'm investing, at the beginning, you have no luxury of risk. You have to be sure of your return on investment.
Ama end up na dead stock.
Exactly.
Kwa nyumba yako.
Yes. Lasa unaanza kuuza give, at least you bring back. Ndio urudishe ile 50K yako, unaanza kuuza
giveaway.
Vile tu ulinunua, because you need your 50K back.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So that you can start investing in such businesses that have high risk. Make sure you have that luxury of inaweza chomeka ama,
and it's okay.
And it's okay, I'll be fine.
Oh, Mo, I could listen to you all day, honestly.
Thank you.
I mean, I've learned so much myself. I think what I'm taking away from our conversation today, especially because like I'm in that season of busy business mama, what will move the needle?
Yes.
Of all these things that I'm feeling, everything needs my attention. What will move me closer to what I'm trying to achieve?
Even calling somebody, I need to call this person, I need to call it. No, you can delegate that.
Yeah.
What is the message you want to say? Call Nani, tell them this. I need to find out if this works for them.
Yeah.
Call Mo, ask her if she's available for this day because this has changed. How many calls will you make to Mo? How many mental notes are you putting? I need to call Mo. I need to call...
Yeah, that's been powerful for me. I love that. Now, please plug us onto any programs you have. How can people reach you for the two main things you do? How can business owners reach you and find you so that you can teach them how to use social media to take their businesses to the next level? And how can aspiring business owners who want to become social media managers reach out to you, and any programs, and how do we reach you before we wrap up?
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you guys. If you will watch till this part, you are Amazing. So I'll first talk to business owners who are listening to us today, and they're like, I run a business, I'm already on social media, and I think I need help in really being able to position myself better to sell. So you can reach out to me on social media, specifically Instagram. I'm also on LinkedIn for those of you who prefer LinkedIn. Maureen Mongara, or you can search Social Media with Mo. That's my username on Instagram. Social Media with Mo, MOE. I'm sure she'll put my handles on the description. So you can reach out to me on there. So different ways you can plug in. Once you just go follow me, on my bio, there's a link. If you open that link, just find somewhere written free webinar. Have a free webinar just to get you started. And actually, I've seen people get the free webinar and they're good to go. Have a free webinar, you can get started. And if you take that, it should help you for a start. Then also there's something else that I've done. Business owners are so busy. They don't have time for, let's have an 8-week program. Even 3 days, even 2 hours, even just because, that's 2 hours of learning, then coming back to implement. So through my one-on-one strategy, I discovered there was a gap. They love what they're hearing, but the execution part, they feel it requires a lot of them figuring it out using the strategies I'm teaching. So what I did, I went and used the same strategies and I created a done-for-you content bank.
Love it.
Because what time do you have to think up a caption? What time do you think up? That first story you post is everything. It gets the most views. It's the one you want people to grab attention. The words you say, you might want to be saying you have a sale, but just saying we have a sale today cannot grab my attention. What do you say in that first few words? So I've pre-written the scripts for you and put them in a content bank. So you can buy that. So that paired with a free webinar, you are sorted.
Wow.
For a business owner. And the beautiful thing about that is now with that, delegating your social media becomes very easy. So I usually tell them, if you cannot afford a social media manager at the moment, but you have somebody who's assisting you on the side, watch the free webinar together. Because the call to action in the webinar of what you need to do will require you to implement, get the content bank, and now get them to use it, because it's like you're hiring me to do the work because I've already done for you. But now you can get somebody to now fine-tune, get the scripts from there and put them onto social media for you. All right. So that's how you can plug in as a business owner. For those of you who are thinking, I'm really interested about what you're talking about, being a social media manager and all that, what I'd say is that we have cohorts every quarter.
Okay.
So by the time you're watching this, we probably have just finished our cohort a week ago. So the next cohort is going to be in August. So what you can do, you can follow me and you can book your slot. These are our bestseller, baby. We have waitlist still to book to and huko. So usually we have early bird. So by now there's an early bird offer running. So you can take advantage of the early bird, book your slot for the August cohort that you can be able to join. And then you can also follow me. We have a social media page dedicated to social media managers. It's called Social Media Managers Africa. If you search that on Instagram, we share a lot of content on there. Also on my own account, you can go back and just binge my content. You will learn a lot about social media management, about the world of social media as you wait for the next cohort, which will be in August. When? 27 to 29th. We'll confirm that.
We'll actually put it in the description.
Yes, the exact date. We can even put a early bird link for them if they want to. And not it's too far. You can let them reach out if they want to sign up for that. So I think that's the best way you can plug in and come and let's connect. And for those of you who are, social media is not your way, but you think you're knowledgeable about something that you feel you'd want to monetize, that one, just send me a DM. Because we're working around monetization support, like a masterclass you're working toward. So you can just send me a DM whenever you're watching this. Maybe you're watching and we already have it. We can make it accessible. If you're watching and we're yet to plan it, we can have you sign up for the class. So we just teach you this knowledge you have. How do you package it? What do you tell people so that they can say, I want in, and then they pay you? From as simple as how to collect payment. Sasa mtu wako US anataka nini yako na unampe tu till number.
Haijalipa na till.
Ama hata hailewi hizo sendmani za M-Pesa. How do you make sure you're optimized for global?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This has been, wow. I was right to bring her, guys. No? I really hope you've enjoyed our series. I feel so nostalgic because we've done this for for the past 4 weeks now. Today is our last episode. It's actually end of May. It's end of the Mother's Month. So thank you.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, happy Mother's Day.
The same here. What does this month be? We're gone.
It'll be way gone, but you know what? Every day is Mother's Day.
Yes.
Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Honestly, I have nothing to add. I have nothing to remove. Please, please, please. Watu wa kuniuliza, where is the description box? On this video, when you are watching it, if you click on the comments section, that part that is above the comment section is where our description box is. And that is where all the links on how you can talk to Mo and how you can reach out to her for help are going to be. Thank you so much. Moms, this was for you. Gentlemen, I hope I didn't lock you guys out for so long. It's just been a month. I hope you're sending this to your sisters. You're sending this to your wives. You're sending this to your girlfriends. You're sending this to your daughters, because what we have done in the past 4 weeks has just been amazing. I've tagged all the other videos on the on this series on a playlist down below. So make sure today is the day you do not want to skip the description box. I'll try see if we can get that early bird link, guys, on the description box as well. Just check it out, and thank you so much. Stay safe, guys, and I'll see you on the next episode of Finance Friday.